Hey guys, Forristicat here. Decided to put out another video review. At this time with sunglasses, as someone mentioned in the forum. So yeah, today I went and saw Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. Now I thought that was interesting that instead of going Mission Impossible 1, Mission Impossible 2, Mission Impossible 3, that they just took out the numerical sequencing and instead put in Mission Impossible and then left it and then put Ghost Protocol. So I only saw the trailer once in the lead up to its launch. I didn't really follow the making of the film or anything like that. I saw one trailer and I said, okay, we're probably just going to get our standard Mission Impossible fare. So I have no idea who the director was. I just knew that it's produced by Tom Cruise and J.J. Abrams, and the music was done by someone from Lost, Michael Giacchino, I believe. So the opening, it wasn't too bad. I mean, I felt like it could have been better. I was watching it thinking, okay, when's the adrenaline gonna kick in or whatnot, but that sort of never really came. What I did really like is all of a sudden hearing Dean Martin's "Ain't That a Kick in the Head." Now, for Fallout fans of Fallout New Vegas, that was sort of a nice sort of throwback to there. And I believe John Woo, if I'm not mistaken, directed one of the Mission Impossible films. I think it was the second one, I believe. And one of his styles is having sort of well, his trademark is having doves in films, but another one is having incongruent musical sequences where there'll be some sequencing or action happening on film, and the music, which is actually happening around, is not making any sort of sense. So when you see when you hear Dean Martin belting out those notes and Tom Cruise trying to do a prison break, it was definitely a nice incongruency. So I love any type of sort of musical incongruency. I believe he did that in Face Off as well. I think John Woo directed Face Off. I can't remember the scene where they're playing Judy Garland's somewhere over the rainbow and there's like a shootout or whatever. But anyway, that's a separate topic. So I did enjoy the introduction, and I enjoyed seeing also Sawyer from Lost as an agent. And I thought it was cool that he had a little gadget that he could push, and just before he hit the ground, like he pushed it, and you see like the back sort of break his fall. I thought that was pretty interesting. Okay, so apart from that, Simon Pegg I really enjoyed in this movie. I really think that he sort of was the anchor for the audience, sort of having, like, if you could take any person off the street and put him in a movie, I think that would be Simon Pegg. So I think it was important to have Simon Pegg's character in there, sort of as this bumbling sort of quote unquote helper or whatever, sort of to sort of ground the audience. Sort of we're sort of along for the ride with him. And I harp on about any piece of fandom that has three elements: emotions, characters, and a storyline. That trifecta makes a good piece of fandom, and part of emotion is having things we can relate to. And if these characters are characters we can't relate to, well, you have to get enjoyment of that movie in other ways. And I'm not saying that just because you can't relate to a character you're not going to enjoy a movie. I'm just saying it was good in this movie that Simon Pegg was in there to sort of provide that dynamic in the film. So Simon Pegg definitely was a well casted addition to the film. For the action sequences, now I thought it was a good idea that there wasn't that many action sequences as I expected in this movie. There was a lot of sort of psychological sort of dashing around, like particularly in the Dubai sequence, how you see like one level they have like a meeting. On the second level they're sort of playing out that meeting with a different side of the meeting taking place. I thought that was very interesting. I liked the sort of slapstick humor in the movie. I liked how with the subtitles it said, like, instead of having the swear word, it said something like M, like at, and then had like an apostrophe or whatever. I thought that was interesting. I thought it was good to have the subtitles initially in Russian, and then instead of just showing the English subtitles straight away at one point when Tom Cruise gets out of the when he's in the hospital, you see this Russian subtitles first, and then they sort of merge towards English. I thought that was a great sort of thinking. You know, it's sort of like almost as if we understood Russian or something like that. I thought just that little detail sort of helped a little bit. What else did I like? I didn't like the CGI. Now, in a world where, you know, CGI is sort of becoming more popular and they're sort of becoming more and more ubiquitous, as much as I had to say, in a film like this, you sort of need to have really tight CGI. There was particularly when the assassin lady was getting, you know, kicked out of the Dubai building, the tallest building in the world, whatever that is, I can't remember. It's basically just seeing like a plastic Barbie doll piece of pink fly out a window, and so stuff like that, it definitely does detract from the experience. Now, a new Mission Impossible is never going to be like a, you know, masterpiece bit of sequencing, but I felt like they definitely could have amped up the CGI a little bit, but maybe with the sandstorm as well, especially some of those overhead shots. You see Tom Cruise running after the other terrorist guy with the beard, and it just looks sort of skewed, and the perspective, it looked like some sort of like view from a helicopter, and the characters almost looked two-dimensional. So those CGI shots definitely took away from, yeah, my Mission Impossible experience. And when the car flipped, I mean, it wasn't too bad, but I also felt like there was a little bit of CGI, lack of CGI in that department, in that scene as well. I liked seeing Annie Kapoor. I know him from 24, and his seduction techniques in the bedroom with Jane, I believe her name is. That was pretty funny. And I do like it how they always stick to the formula. Like, you know, you have like your opening sequences, you have like a second sort of team act where, you know, this is the team doing a particular task. In this case, it was getting to the server on a different level in Dubai, and then the third, if I'm following the formula or remembering correctly, is they're at some sort of party event and they have all these variables out of their control, and they sort of have to rein everything together. And that's definitely how this movie ended. And the ending was very interesting because it was at the party. I was trying to keep track of, okay, this guy is from the Russian from before. You got this the host of the party over there. Oh, you got this guy with a little machine trying to keep this other guy levitated and not on the spikes. This, that, and the other. You got Tom Cruise. You got the girl. There was a lot to keep track of, and that definitely sort of hooked me in, and that was definitely a very good way to sort of end the movie. So the movie definitely was headed towards a good ending. However, the ending itself, they definitely over-explain themselves. It reminds me of Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings, the ending, it felt like they could have left the ending early on, and then boom, there's another scene, and then boom, there's another scene, boom, there's another scene. You're thinking, damn, when is this movie actually going to end? With this, I think it would have been perfect just to end it. I think them having beers was fantastic, because again, boom, it takes us back to something we can relate to. We can relate to having drinks with friends. It's like, okay, here's a team, old friends or whatever. After a hard day at the quote-unquote office, they're, you know, spending time with their friends, having a beer, discussing old missions or whatever. And I feel like they could have really ended it there. But then when what's that guy's name? Jeremy Renner's character sort of explained Ethan's wife situation. I feel like they were trying to tie up too many loose ends too late. They should have sort of streamlined that storyline a little bit throughout the movie, and having done that, when it gets to the end of the movie, where they should have ended it with just a casual beer scene, which would have been perfect, they sort of like tried to like do up 50 different loose ends at the same time. It definitely felt way too rushed, and definitely sort of like they were trying to close the door because they knew they had to, given that the movie was about to end. What else? The music was very good. I think Michael Giacchino, doing the classical Mission Impossible theme was fantastic. As far as music goes, there's a select few sort of, I call them buzz themes, that whenever you hear them, you sort of think, yeah, it sort of gets you in that mood for the movie. I mean, Star Wars used to be one of them. Indiana Jones used to be one of them until Indiana Jones 4 F that up. But for now, it's the James Bond theme. probably the Requiem for a Dream theme, that sort of, you know, tragic melody, Lord of the Rings theme, and Mission Impossible. I mean, they could probably make Mission Impossibles forever, really. And so as long as you get a trailer with semi-decent action sequences, and you got that sort of Mission Impossible theme, yeah, whether you like it or not, it's gonna get you excited. And definitely, when I heard the theme playing at key points in the movie, I thought, damn, you know, this is what I paid my ticket for. I came here to see Mission Impossible. I've got the music going. I've got an interesting team here, and I thought it was a very good movie. What I would give it out of 10, I'd have to give it see, it's hard because yesterday I gave Tintin a 7.5 out of 10, but you know, these are sort of apples and oranges. They're totally different types of stories. I'll have to give it I would give it a 7 out of 10. That's not to say it was bad or anything. I mean, that's definitely above average. It was pretty much it sort of met my expectations, so I can't say it was bad. I can just say, you know, you go in there to have a bit of action, a little bit of, you know, the plot of course wasn't that interesting. It's like typical stop a nuclear missile from being detonated, and that's another thing. The CGI of the missile was sort of a little bit off as well. And I mean, what can you do about it? That's the CGI definitely sort of jarred my experience in that regard a bit. But I did think the end fight which was at the car production line was definitely a sort of interesting way to sort of end it. And for that matter, the fights were very well choreographed, and the sounds, whoever did the sound mixing or the sound effects of the actual fights, they did a pretty good job of that. Like, definitely, like, it felt like when people were getting beat up, you definitely feel like it was actual real pain happening there. And for that matter, I mean, the director was also pretty good. There was a couple of cool shots in there, especially how like Ethan sort of like jumping back in the hotel in Dubai and he hits his head. That was done pretty well. And there was one particular shot where the main bad guy sort of crashes through a glass pane, and the glass pane is sort of like at the forefront, and then boom, like you see him smash through it, and that sort of brings the audience into the picture, which I thought was really good. And definitely, if there's one thing I like about cinema moments, is when something sudden happens and then you see everyone just jump, sort of just all of a sudden. And that definitely happened with obviously the scene where he's in a car, the guy, Ethan's boss, IMF's boss, is explaining the Ghost Protocol, and then all of a sudden, like, he basically dies. And I saw like it was just all these, like, it felt like the whole cinema was like vibrating from the shocks of everyone around me. But for me, it shocked me a little bit, but I sort of have trained myself not to jump too much when those things happen, because I sort of know like there's no immediate threat. It's just a shock in a movie. Regardless, yeah, 7 out of 10. Definitely what I expected. There wasn't any sort of mind-blowing, really good moments. My favorite moment was, I don't know, probably yeah, when Tom Cruise was running down the Dubai hotel, straight vertically, like running along, and you got that Mission Impossible theme playing in the background. When I saw that, I'm like, yep, they right there sort of pay for the price of my ticket. So Mission Impossible 4, 7 out of 10 is what I expected. Nothing more, nothing less, nothing groundbreaking here. CGI could have been better, but apart from that, it's pretty much your standard formula for Mission Impossible. This is Forristicat signing off. Hope everyone's having a good day today, and I'll be back with another video review later. Peace!